Hello everyone, and welcome back to Naysmith Gaming, where I give you both a game to enjoy and a topic to think about. For today, we return to realMyst Masterpiece Edition. Our general topic is puzzle and world design. A more detailed question is in the description. I only ask that you think about it after the video is over. Today, we are going through Channelwood. I have called this age Channelwood, and it's a very different world. It was exactly how I imagined it. It is still amazing to see it with my own eyes. Water covers this age as far as I can see, except for a small rocky island. Elsewhere, there are only trees which grow directly out of the water. A myriad of thin wooden passages are built just above the water and disappear into the forest. I assume they were built some time ago, for they appear aged. I am eager to discover more about this land and its people. I have arrived here late, and I must rest. I was awakened this morning by strange noises coming from a pathway adjacent to the one on which I had slept. I saw a group of monkey-like people heading in my direction. They had not seen me yet. I did not feel threatened by their presence. Their response to me was one that I would never have expected. After staring at me for a short time, they fell to their knees and began what appeared to be some sort of ceremonial worship. I tried to speak to them, but they did not understand my language. Instead, they indicated through enthusiastic hand motions that I was to follow them. As we walked, I began to notice that the waters below us were changing colors. Slowly, subtly, they would change from deep blue to muddy orange, then from muddy orange to beautifully clear. I was so intrigued by the water, I hardly noticed that we had arrived at a ladder. Climbing the ladder led us to their village, which is about 10 meters above the water, and could only be reached by rope ladders that stretched from the lower paths to the village level, approximately halfway up the grand trees. It is very interesting to watch these people carry out their daily tasks. Even after watching them for hours, I did not understand exactly what they were doing. At sunset, they motioned for me to follow them. I followed the creatures to the doorway of the enormous hut. Strangely, once inside, I found that the hut appeared even larger than it had from the outside. The walls were garnished with bright metals, and in the center of the hut sat the leader of these people. At least he appeared to be their leader, for he sat a meter off the floor in a thick throne. Guards surrounded the strong creature, who was dressed in many exotic, colorful fabrics. Next to the leader sat a very old human. At least to some extent he appears human. His hair, which was only on his face and head, was completely gray, almost white, and hung very long around his frail body. His thin head hung limply by an almost grotesque neck, and could not hold its head up to look at me. But, I was surprised this creature could speak my language. Shortly thereafter I was given a bed with some hand motions that looked to be telling me to go to sleep. I look forward to learning more. As I suspected, the ancient creature is a human, but he's old beyond his own reckoning, and seems almost insane. However, the tree dwellers almost revere him as a god. They are treating me now in the same fashion, which makes me feel very uncomfortable. It is almost impossible to understand this old man. His voice is feeble but wild. He has adopted much of the language of the tree dwellers. He himself told me he had not spoken our own tongue in ages. He attempted to explain to me the history of this place. The following is my best translation of what he told me. Many years ago, the humans and tree dwellers lived together in this place, which was then a vast island. They interacted very little. The humans dwelt on the ground, and the tree dwellers lived high above the humans. Occasionally, the island was disturbed by mysterious rumblings which happened randomly, some sort of tectonic or volcanic action, I suspect, and sometimes slight, sometimes heavy tremors would only last a short time. Then they would stop, allowing everything to return to normal. One day, things changed. The rumbling began and grew quickly to unprecedented levels. Soon it became apparent that the entire island was sinking slowly into the ocean around them. Many of the humans died that day, but not before sacrificing themselves in order to stop the sinking of the island. The humans who lived through this catastrophe moved into the trees, where they gradually died out. Maybe because they are unequipped for such an environment, but I am not sure. This is a story the old man communicated to me, although many details are very unclear in my mind. I am especially confused as to how the humans saved the island from completely sinking. In fact, I doubt the accuracy of that part of the story. The island must have stopped on its own. Yet the old man believes in the truth of the story as if he had been there, and the tree dwellers worship him, and apparently all humans, as if they were heroes or gods. The old man ended our conversation today with an event which I will never forget. He began gripping my hands tightly, murmuring something about rest and sleep. He then said, "We have expected you to come sooner." These actions filled me with a sort of immediate dread. With much effort, he stood to his feet. I tried to help, but he pushed me away with more force than I imagined his frail body contained. The tree dwellers quietly surrounded him with very solemn faces. Then they kneeled before him. He walked to each and placed his hand on their heads. All the while, he murmured words which I did not understand. Finally, he turned to me and smiled. Then he closed his eyes and walked out the door and off the narrow path high in the trees. The tree dwellers were silent. They began a procession down the nearest rope ladder. As I was descending, I saw several of them pick up the body. He had fallen onto a lower level of the walkway and carried away. He was laying down at the dead end of a short pier-like structure. With the use of some potion of one of the two creatures lit the pier on fire, but I watched as the flames engulfed him. As a strange funeral proceeded, the waters around the pier changed to dull green. This morning I awoke, finding it hard to even believe the previous evening's events. The water is a dull green, for as far as I can see now. For some reason, the water no longer shifts color. As I wander throughout the pathways, the creatures watch me, curious to see what I will do next. They are constantly offering me strange objects of affection. I even found food outside the doorway to the room in which I had slept. This is a unique race of beings. I hope to learn their language soon so that I may learn more from them. I have lived on this world for 3 months off and on, and the tree dwellers have shown great hospitality. I'm even beginning to learn bits of their language. I decided to return home for an extended stay with my loving wife and my sons, and hopefully return with them. However, I'm sure Catherine will once again refuse. I think this age will be a wonderful experience for them all, but I at least look forward to how Sirrus and Achenar will react to its curious inhabitants. Catherine is staying behind as expected. My sons have returned with me, and they enjoy this age very much. They get along very well with the tree dwellers, and are picking up their language surprisingly fast. I have no doubt that will not be too long until they can speak with the tree dwellers much better than myself. I am leaving tomorrow to check on Osmoian Age. Sirrus has suggested that I allow him and his brother to stay, though the idea unsettles me. I know the boys are growing up rapidly. The hospitality of these creatures is such that I could think of no better place to leave them alone for a short while, without consent to their request. I warned the boys not to take advantage of the respect the tree dwellers have for their ideas. They seem to understand my warning, and I have faith they will follow it. Much to my dismay, upon arriving at Everdunes, I learned that Pran and her people are continuing to be menaced by the Chotchtik. I fear for their survival and plan on returning to her shortly, after checking on Sirrus and Achenar here. See Everdunes Journal for more information. After watching Sirrus and Achenar, I see they are handling things very well, and I think I can put to rest any fears about leaving them in Channelwood again. And for a little longer time. The tree dwellers seem slightly distressed that I am leaving, but are happy that Sirrus and Achenar are staying behind again. I have been gone for over 3 days, and have been to many different places. I had to tell Sirrus and Achenar about Pran's death today. They were visibly shaken, although they only remembered her from their childhood. Catherine has suggested that it would be wise for Sirrus and Achenar to leave Channelwood for a while, but I have to agree. They will be returning with me when I leave again. I have told my sons that they will be returning with me in 2 days. They spent the entire night telling me of an adventure they experienced in my absence, and it was rather remarkable. It seems they constructed a boat with the creatures that traveled some ways out into the surrounding waters. I enjoy hearing them talk excitedly of their adventures. Them reminded of my own adventures as a child. I finally understand why the tree dwellers have been giving me their many inks and insisting I write with them. Looking through some of my past entries, I see now that the inks have changed from the black I thought they were, to various different colors. I have shown some of the creatures my journal, and they laughed and howled. I know they had such a sense of humor. Even now, as I look past this very colorful journal, I cannot help but laugh myself. We will be returning tomorrow, so my sons are with the creatures for last night here. They have told me they would like to come to Channelwood again, and also asked if they can visit some other ages alone. But I'll have to think over their requests. I believe they have proven to me that they are trustworthy and responsible. Catherine will also have to help me decide whether they are ready for travel alone. For now, I must give my farewells to the creatures I do not know, for I do not know how long it will be until I visit the stage once again. Okay, so apparently Sirrus and Achenar like this age, and apparently in this age they gave them the tree dwellers revered humans. So that sounds like a recipe for trouble, considering what we have seen of Achenar's thirst for destruction and Sirrus's rampant greed. Okay, the tree is rising. Okay, let's... disable that. This society, I believe, was developed far, far better than the two we have seen before, in both Mechanical and Stoneship. Stoneship is barely a society, barely emerging, Mechanical was ruins. This one was a thriving civilization, but admittedly somewhat primitive. However, that's just world design. As for game design, these narrow pathways. They all look alike, don't they? Which brings to the first issue I'd like to talk about. How difficult it is to navigate this place. Okay. Nothing. Continue the right-hand rule. Okay, a pipe heading into the water, or perhaps out of? Loops around like this. Generator. Attached to the windmill. That appears to be doing nothing. Oh. Let's turn this knob. You can hear the water flowing. Now it's not flowing. Now it is again. If the same pattern holds, it is now pointing in this direction. Which means water is flowing directly back into the water, into the marsh. Here's that power now, so let's see what it does. This world, this age, alone of the ages, actually feels like it has a civilization in it, or could have one. Mechanical Age seemed barren, and Stoneship, I didn't see how anyone could possibly be living there. But then that was after the rains came back. Oh, that's what that does, okay. So I want to give power to that next generator. I need to link it to... First, pull this one. And switch this one. Still running around. A starting spot, I think. And where does this thing, which looks like an elevator, where does it go? Ah, the mislinking book. I don't have any of the pages yet, so let's ignore that for now. This is also probably the only age which is easier to get to the linking book than it is to get to any of the pages. But in a civilization that's actually thriving, wouldn't that actually be something that makes sense? This age has a lot more mobility issues than the others. A lot more mobility than the others overall. Ah, another generator over there. Let's see what that says. Is there any way through? Not that I can see. There's the elevator up to the Myst book. This one must be a different one. Apparently something water to it. Except would be. Flip this. Now the water should be pointed this way. Just a large platform here, and a bridge. Which way do I go? Just randomly move around a bit. Okay, nothing here. And this one's a dead... I have now opened some doors. Not a dead end after all. Or rather, it was a dead end I needed. Let's go around here. Explore the dead end some more. Or rather, a loop. I'm also noticing a distinct lack of tree dwellers, but after the last 2 ages, that seems rather expected. Those huts probably don't have anything in them, but I'm gonna check anyway. Nope, nothing. I would like to know how they got fired clay, considering a distinct lack of materials to make kilns with. Ah, my old nemesis. The spiral staircase. This was meant for point and click, but apparently it's not meant for free roam. Okay, let's change the water, and let's see what we have brought. And here we are, another elevator. See where this one leads. Backwards path. First, let's explore this one. Actually, no, that goes very far. Let's just explore this one. Windy up here. Achenar's, no, Sirrus's room. There appears to be almost nothing here except... oh, wait. Okay, just more of his wine and good weapons. Vault access. Island of Mist. Oh, that'd be marker switch vault access. Plain view on Mist and access can be simple followed. Locate switches on the island. Switches to the door's on position here. Go to dock and move that marker switch to the off position. Okay, that's interesting. We'll look into that one later. In the meantime, I have a page for Sirrus. Let's look into returning the hat. Flip this switch to return power and water to the next option. No. And flip this switch too. With the spiral staircases, we can tell that this game was not meant for free roam, that it was added afterwards to modernize it. However, this puzzle with the water was clearly designed for the player to be in a fixed position, thereby allowing them to simply control it in a much more precise way, without all the stray clicking I'm having to make every so often. But anyway, let us return the red page. We'll listen to him later. Nailed it. Flip this switch. Now the elevator above should be powered. If I take this elevator and go forward, I can find Achenar's room. Disturbing. As are the spikes on this. What's happening? Okay. This is not a pleasant person. The end. That appears to be the message that was reported over at the beheading device. I think that's beheading. And there's the page. Anything else in here other than that fourth button? It appears a whole lot more sparse than the... Okay, that's the wicked weapon. It appears a lot more sparse than anything else I've seen from him. Okay, let's look at the fourth button.
I hope I pushed the right button. Very interesting device, dear brother. I'm not erasing anything important, am I? He is preparing. Remember, take only one page.
Well, that is the proverbial smoking gun. They were both in on it. Whatever happens, they're both in on it. Now they're both trying to throw the other one under the bus.
I hope I pushed the right button. Very interesting device, dear brother. I'm not erasing anything important, am I? He is preparing. Remember, take only one page.
Nothing bad happened when I gave the red page to Sirrus, so blue page to Achenar. So on the topic of game and world design, also puzzles, this puzzle is annoying to navigate, yet it feels the most built into the rest of the world, as opposed to Mechanical Age, which frankly I'm not sure why they had to use that special thing, a special simulator, why they couldn't just look outside and see which direction they were facing. Or a Stoneship, which not sure why they only had the power to pump one of the areas out at a time. Of the 3 ages so far, this is the one that feels the most real. Yet they made it that way in a way that made it difficult to navigate. Especially that spiral staircase. Yet the spiral staircase actually felt like it was a part of the world because it was wrapped around a tree. Anyway, let's listen to the brothers and figure out what's going on. Or see if they slip up.
My friend. Bring in the blue pages. I see. Convinced Sirrus is guilty. Pray, do not release him. He will destroy me, just as he did. The innocent bystander. I've been wrongfully tricked into imprisonment. You have observed his unbridled lust for riches!
That I have.
In the 4 remaining worlds. Gruesome plot. It was almost perfect! Final blow to father. You tricked him into believing that it was I who was the murderer. I didn't murder father. Bring me the remaining. Please.
You just say pages in the plural?
Full in a liar. Must not be free. The remaining blue pages from the last age of mist. I must be free. You must free me. I cannot bear it here for eternity. Free me.
And now let's listen to what Sirrus has to say.
With each page I can see more clearly. Soon, free from this horrible prison, this book. You must visit the one remaining age which you have not. Confident that my brother Achenar is demented. He is guilty. He took advantage of the freedom our father had given us. Achenar began to I ask you again. Do not retrieve the blue pages. He will destroy both myself and you, just as he destroyed the other ages of mist. Never will escape. You must simply bring the red page. Tell them the story that your wisdom. You will see that I am innocent and he is guilty. This forgotten island long ago. life, and you will be greatly rewarded.
It's amazing how long those go on. Anyway, next time, the Stoneship Age. For now, this is the Naysmith signing off. Thank you and have a good day, everyone.